Your favorite couples here so easily accessible. Grab your headphones, hit play, turn up the decibels. Master of the pod like a young Skywalker. Shout out to homie Yoda, cause great all we talkers. The crew is firm, so it's love to AZ. You signed the Tempe. Scorch the competition simply. Sure to get you high like some true West Coasters. Look at the flick of the wrist. One Guardian Leviosa. LA is always sunny. Comic-Con with honeys. Pokemon and Dunny. Sneaker hype, be sticking money. Erase your rows of eyes and see Lee made it funny. Time flies and now my flux capacitor is running. You not rocking with us, you like a muggle wizard, see. Just stupefy yourself with the wave of wizardry. Like Mario standing still in the left's a moving screen. A world full of nerds, but only two nerdly. The dopest show you ever heard, you see. It will be. In your eardrum like an infectious beat. We complete. They like when the short and long hear me. Cause we the nerdlies, the nerdly. The dopest show you ever heard, you see. It will be. In your eardrum like an infectious beat. We complete. They like when the short and long hear me. Cause we the nerdlies, the nerdly.
Welcome to the Nerdlies. I am Chris.
I am Rachel.
Hello. Did I turn you up too much?
Just a little bit.
Sorry. I just want you to hear it in your ear as loud as possible because I am loud.
Sounds good.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Are you staying safe? Hopefully so. Wearing your masks when you go outside and stuff? I hope so. Yeah. Obviously, you can't guarantee that you're doing that, but hopefully you are. We are trying to be safe as well. We just did we did do a COVID test.
We did
Recently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how did you, I mean, we kind of knew what to expect because you had watched someone get it done.
Yeah, I actually watched, I think Kevin Smith had it on his story or something because he did a live video of him getting it done. And he definitely was like, oh God, and he like teared up and stuff and said it was like pretty painful. So yeah, I saw him get it done and I was like, oh, that must be uncomfortable. So I kind of knew that it was going to be uncomfortable, and it was uncomfortable. So
yeah, so if
it's not awful, it's not at the end of the world, but it definitely, I would say it like kind of burns because they put this like swab up your nose and they like really like push it around inside of your nose.
It's not just it's not your regular cotton swab. It's like it has the texture of a mild like pipe cleaner.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're trying to get like as much material out of your nose as they can, and yeah, so it's definitely like it's kind of like Chris was saying, like after we got it done, it's like your nose doesn't know what to do because it's like never had anything but like snot up there, and then like you're just pushing this like foreign object in there and like rubbing it around really hard. So it was just odd feeling and very kind of sore, and like I kind of tasted copper for a little bit. Yeah, because it was weird, but yeah, I mean, it was uncomfortable and it made me tear up, and I think it's just a reflex that just makes you tear up. But
automatically too.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention too that you when I did it right before you. We were there at the same time, obviously.
Yeah.
And like I had to take a second in between doing mine, and she was like, "Okay, you ready?" I'm like, "All right, give me 1 second." Yeah, I'm ready. But you were just like, you closed your eyes and you're like, just do it. You didn't even like take a break in between both because they have to do both nostrils.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I didn't know.
Yeah.
Was that I thought they only had to do one. They do both of your nostrils.
Do both.
And
yes,
they really wiggle that thing in there.
Oh, yeah.
She said it was 10 seconds. I don't think it was 10 seconds. It was like five or six. But it feels like a long time because you're just like holding your breath. Like you take a deep breath before they do it. And you just feel her just swirling this pipe cleaner in your nose.
To me, it literally felt like it was like a stick, like a wooden stick. It felt like just a wooden stick being like swirled around my nose. That's how it felt. But
yeah. Because the texture is pretty rough.
Yeah.
But good to do it because you got to make sure that you're clear.
Yes.
And we are both negative. The test came back very quickly.
Yeah, it was crazy. We got it done on Thursday, and we had the results emailed to us last night.
Yeah,
mine were last night, and his was this morning. But yeah, it was like, so it took like 2 days. They kept saying, oh, it can take up to 5 days, but it was literally like 2 days done.
Yeah.
So far so good. We've been safe and we've done all we can, and like it's not to say that we're in some ways I almost kind of wanted it to say yeah you had it, so I could be like, oh sweet, I'm like I'm immune and I won't have to worry as much about going to work. But now I'm like,
also the problem is like they don't even know whether that's actually true yet.
Yeah,
they don't know whether.
Yeah, that's also true. Is like, I mean, yeah,
They don't know whether that immunity is a thing
Yeah.
from after you have it.
Yeah. I mean, but either way, it would make me feel better. Like,
Yes,
oh,
yeah.
I've lived through it. Like, I'm okay. You know? Like, I don't know. But, I mean, it makes sense because I literally haven't had any symptoms this entire time. And so, yeah.
The only reason I worried at all was because we did go visit my grandma, which was
That's
we were
true,
not in
yeah.
the same room at all
No.
as her. We were outside
when I was like
the facility.
way further away from her than you were. You actually talked to her a little bit, but still, like, she was sitting down in a room and there was a screen over the window, and
Yeah.
so I'm like,
And I was
there's no
elevated
way,
above the
yeah,
window.
there's no way that like stuff could travel through that. It's a lot of barriers happening. So.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, just gotta be sure and all.
Was
that
she
stuff.
wearing a mask or no?
She was not, because she was
Okay.
inside. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's in the hospital. So yeah.
Actually, you know what? Maybe she was. I can't remember now. So
Yeah, I can't remember
there was
either,
probably
but-
less likelihood of
Yeah.
transmission, but it's like you are there at like a COVID like facility, so I wasn't sure.
But we kept
you know.
away from everybody. Even the nurses and stuff stayed away from us and
Yeah.
had their masks on. So like, yeah, I personally wasn't worried, but I can understand like the paranoia. 'Cause
Just the
we're-
general.
We're all kind of feeling that in general.
Yes.
I'm feeling that a lot.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that people can't really be trusted.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like they could do everything right, and they could like. Someone could come in and not have a fever and not have symptoms, and then somehow they're still a carrier, and I could get it.
Yeah.
So it's never 100% guarantee of anything. So just gotta, we just all have to try to do our best to uphold to what we're told. But I was just reading some quote. I don't even know who it was from. It might be from like just some random person, or it might. Oh, I think it was from like some elected official. But he was basically saying like his theory is if we don't like just shut down for another like 6 months, we're all just fucked.
I mean, I'm not
Because
sure.
of how much
Well,
the fluctuation is going. Like we just need like he's like we need to like they need to put more in unemployment. Like we just need to like get through it because
Well, the biggest problem is that people, like, you think that people can police themselves, which we would hope that people could police themselves, but there is such a movement for not like the anti-vax movement is just so much bigger than you think it is. You think?
Yeah.
Sometimes, and like the non-science, like the science denial in this country is kind of insane.
yeah, it is.
And
it is.
I mean, if you have those ideals, whatever, just don't come near me, please,
Yeah.
during this, because
Exactly.
it's just not. I mean, I don't know. I look at stuff and I'm like, what really is it costing you to? They're telling you can still go out and go shopping, do your essential things, just wear a mask. That's
Yeah.
literally the minimum thing anyone is asking you to do.
Yeah.
Wear a mask for at max like a couple hours. If you're gonna go to a movie, you have to wear it for like 2 hours. Like if you're going to Costco, it's like a 40-minute trip. Maybe.
And then us as workers, I have to wear mine all day.
Yeah.
I'm going to be working from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. and I have to wear that fucking thing all goddamn day unless I go sit in my car
Yeah.
or something and I'm alone from like everybody. But I'm doing physical labor
Yeah.
hours at a time on people and I'm going to be wearing them all day. And I'm wearing them for myself, but I'm also wearing them for the people that are coming in.
Yeah.
And yet they like the people that are coming in may give me trouble. And that's the thing that I'm worried about because I hate being confronted with things like that. But I am straight up like not fucking around, and I'm like, I've already set this up to myself that like I don't care like what excuse they have. If they get in my room and they start saying like, oh, I can't really wear a mask, I'm gonna be like, get out.
Yeah.
You signed a fucking waiver that said that you would wear it, and so if you don't, you're out.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just like I just have to
do
pull
it.
that.
You have to do it.
And I'm scared, but I'm hoping, and that's the thing is, like, I always hope the best in people, and I always have, and, even ever since I started doing this, there is 9 times out of 10, you have a perfect person, and they're great, and they're understanding, and, they're courteous, but then there's that 1% of people that come in, and I've had people, like, touch me inappropriately, hit on me, like, try to have, like, weird conversations, touch me inappropriately, like it's just all these things, and like you know, and they come in, I just, you know, assume people are going to be good people, but they're not.
But they're not.
Unfortunately. Like, and I've had people like try to scam me and shit. Like, it's just not, it's not cool, man. Like,
people are just trying to do their jobs.
That's the thing is, like, that's what I worry is because even before this, I've had people that pushed the boundary of my workplace.
Yeah.
And so this is like another added layer to that.
Yeah.
And if I get someone who's that discourteous to me just in general, I can't imagine like what they're going to be like, you know, now. So it's just like, that's the only thing that's slightly terrifying. But luckily I know that like my employer will back me up if I have to, refuse service to people. But it's scary because people are so like this way or that way and they get on their convictions and, you know, I don't know. It just pisses me off that I have to worry about this. But
well, the thing is, on that note, for everyone, if you are going out and going to restaurants or grocery stores, anywhere, just be as nice as possible as you can to the guys that are working there, because it is insane what they are going through every single day. Yeah. Like you've seen the videos. I hope you have. If you haven't, then you should.
And the thing is, I work retail, and I know that these people just exist in general, and that and like this is just heightening. Like I said, this is just heightening an already stressful situation. Yeah. So
be kind to people if you're out there, and maintain your social distancing. Bring yourself some hand sanitizer. Wear your masks. That's all you have to do. That's all you got to do. A little bit of courtesy, help everybody else. Yeah. Anyway, wanted to bring it to just quickly. We're gonna go into gaming real quick because I know we're gonna probably talk longer on a certain subject. But gaming real quick, I wanted to say Animal Crossing had a big update for the summer, and we love it. You especially love it. You have been waiting for something like this. What did you feel? How do you feel about it? How now that it's rolled out, like this summer swimming update?
Yeah, it's just been super fun. Like ever since it started, I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if you could swim in the water. And then I had watched videos of the fact that like in other versions of the game, you've been able to swim. And so like, it is kind of cool how like certain things are kind of slowly like rolling out to kind of like make it feel more special, which it does. And it's like, oh, it's cool that like now you can just swim, but now you can swim all year round. So it's a really cool aspect. And I think it's just like, I feel like it's more fun than like fishing or catching bugs in a way because like there's more of like a hunting aspect to it, and like you don't have to like have long pauses in between, you know, like where you do with like fishing and catching bugs and stuff, because sometimes you go a long time without finding anything. But this way it's like it feels like a treasure hunt because you're constantly looking for the bubbles and you're constantly like moving, and so it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
It's a lot of fun, and
there's
the
a lot of
creatures
new
are really
creatures
cool.
And stuff. Yeah. What are you doing?
She is finding things to fight. She was pawing at my case earlier, just a little while ago. What a dork.
Sometimes I wonder if there's stuff like they hide stuff behind places like that, like where it's like dark, so it's like their den, and they're like, oh, this is where I keep all my mice.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, they definitely keep stuff under the couch. I know that for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But I really love the new update. I think it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to like. We had some friends come over virtually to our island,
virtually visit,
and go swimming and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. And that's the thing I like about the game too, is that everyone's kind of, especially our friends, have been very like communal with all their stuff. So like sending each other things. If you need this item, we can get it from somebody. Blah blah. Like that's been a lot of fun, and seeing everybody's personality come through in like either their houses or their islands. That's the best part of this game.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
It's definitely a low key like little kids GTA sort of thing where you can just like exist in a world. And all that stuff. But yeah, another thing I wanted to mention was if you ever listen to episode, this is going way back into our catalog, but episode 57 of the podcast, our friend Josh Pierce and his brother made this game called Res Please. It's about two brothers who are wizards, and their main power is to be able to resurrect each other. And it's a platformer where you play as two brothers, and your main power is to resurrect each other. There's different ways to get past different obstacles and stuff like that. I would highly recommend it because it is coming out on Nintendo Switch on July 15th. So make sure you check out Rez Please. That's REZ space PLZ. It's a really cool, like 8-bit, 16-bit type of side scroller platformer. It's fantastic. So I'm definitely gonna buy it, and I support those guys because they're super nice, really cool dudes. But check that game out and play it on Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
Yes. Another thing I wanted to talk about was there is big Disney news, which is not... I mean, there's a couple things of Disney news. Mm-hmm. So Disneyland was supposed to open on July 17th out here, and I think Florida's still opening on July 11th. I don't know how, but they are.
Alas, I mean, Universal's still been open.
Yeah,
like,
still been open
which is
there.
Nuts.
out in Florida.
Yeah.
But none of the theme parks out here have opened yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Disneyland has been postponed, which is totally fine with us. I don't think I'm going to go for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm glad for the workers that are there.
I'm super happy that they are listening to reason and not Orange County.
Yeah.
Because, Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. But another big news is that Splash Mountain is getting a total redesign.
Hell yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
So excited.
They announced that they're going to redesign Splash Mountain to the theme of Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
Which I guess has been in development for about a year now.
I guess so, yeah.
And I can't remember the woman's name who is the lead on the project. But they're doing Princess and the Frog at Splash Mountain. And I think, that ride has been around for how many years?
God, I'll have to look
it's pretty recent. I think it was like the 80s. I think it opened.
I mean, it's not terribly
while you look
old,
that up.
Yeah.
But Splash Mountain was themed around a very problematic movie in the Disney universe, Song of the South, which is
Disney has like basically straight up denied that it happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
they acknowledge
it to a point, but they literally it's not like you won't be able to find it on Disney Plus because they don't release it anymore.
Yeah.
Because they know how racist and horrible it is, and they are ashamed of it. And instead of just being like, "Hey guys, this is a thing we did, and we're ashamed of it, and we're sorry," like they've just kind of side-saddled it this whole time, and. Yeah, and the ride still has like the racist characters in it, and the racist portrayals of different things that are problematic just in general. And honestly, I've always been scared of it just because I don't like.
You don't like drops.
I don't like drops. I don't like free fall drops. So I never liked it. I remember going on it.
And you're not huge on water rides, really, are you?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I just remember when I thought I was old enough. I think I was like. I don't know, maybe 9 or something. And I was like, I'm going to, you get that little like kid determination. We're like, I'm old enough. I'm tall enough. I can go on it now. And we waited for like over an hour, I think. We got to the front. I saw like just the logs coming and I started bawling. And my mom just like grabbed me and was like, we just waited in line for like an hour and a half. We're going on this ride. And I'm like, okay. And I swear to God, I hated every goddamn minute of it. I was terrified. I didn't know that there were multiple drops, and some of them are really bad. And then you get to the part where the big drop is coming, and that part freaked me the fuck out because all the rabbits were crying, and I'm like, why are all the rabbits crying? And like, and I definitely I had a total I was not okay. After the drop, I was like, total meltdown. Yeah. I don't think I did anything the rest of that day. Yeah, it was total meltdown time.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
But yeah, they are...
That's the thing is I'm just like, I didn't like it in general. And I didn't really like the way that they, the story was because it was sad and, upsetting. I mean, it has a quote-unquote happy ending, but yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, but... It's going to be great that they are redesigning that. I think it's going to reinvigorate that ride, I think. Because, I mean, it's been a popular ride, and I think it'll still be a very, very popular ride. And especially now that it's going to be rethemed. I don't know. I look at stuff like Tower of Terror, and I liked Tower of Terror, okay. I didn't go on it very often, because I'm also not a huge scary ride person. If it's I can handle Haunted Mansion because it is so dated, but if they did that any more realistic, I'd be nah, I'm not going to Haunted Mansion,
Yeah, no,
right?
I'm same. I mean, honestly, up until like maybe 5-10 years ago, I was still pretty freaked out going on that ride sometimes. But like, I finally got to the point where I'm like, all right, I know, like, I've been on this so many times.
Yeah.
Like, nothing, I know what everything does. I'm not scared of it
But like,
anymore.
yeah, the Twilight Zone thing just wasn't my style. And now that they reskinned it to Guardians and they actually enhanced the ride system, I feel like, or the ride itself, it just is so much better. Like, I just like it a lot more. I'm more apt to go on Guardians than I was for Tower of Terror. But that's me personally. I know I know at least a couple of our friends are very, very adamant about Twilight Zone. They love it. I get it. There's a mystique to Twilight Zone, and that's where it was going. But I do think they did a great job of figuring out how to reskin that ride and making it a completely different experience, even though it's the same ride system.
Yeah, and I know people, like, I've already seen, like, people commenting on different things saying that, you know, that, like, oh, in my childhood, blah, blah, blah. But they do this every time they every time they redo anything, people get pissed about it because it's not the same. And it's like, yeah, it's not the same. But, like, you know, Disney said that the park was never going to be finished and it was going to keep evolving. And, like, this is what he would have wanted. Like, you know, you know, I would hope this is what he would have wanted to keep going in the right direction. But yeah, so this ride is only 4 years, or we're 4 years older than this ride is.
Oh, yeah. 31?
31 years ago.
Oh,
so
wow.
It was 1989 is when it opened.
Yeah, I was like, it's got to be 80s or late 80s something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
still, I mean,
I think it's due. It's due time for that.
30 years, yeah. It needs something fresh. And this movie is, you know, it's still older, you know, but it's still fresh.
And people love this movie.
The music's awesome. Like, yeah, I mean, 100%, like, comparing, like, and I've still never seen Song of the South, and probably never will, because Disney will probably never let it go, unless someday they do. But yeah, I never, like, you know, Zippy Doo Dah is, like, the best part of that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's the song that gets stuck in your head or whatever, but, like, still, it's, like...
Like, who really cares?
Yeah, it's like...
I'm not listening to Zippy Doo Dah every day of my life. Anyway... But yeah,
I'm saying that's like literally the only good thing about it was that song was a cute song. But like other than that, I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And like I said, music on this will be much better, and I'm just excited to see they're gonna make it cooler and prettier, and probably like refurbish it to so where it doesn't like because the system's so janky sometimes, and like
yeah,
I'm like I feel like they could make this better. I feel like they could redo the track or something to make it feel smoother. Or something.
I mean, that's what they did with Matterhorn.
Yeah, exactly.
It's much smoother now.
It is. It's still, it's not great, but
it's still a little janky.
It's still janky, because I mean, there's only so much they can do because of the way the track is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just designed very, very narrowly and close together, and
yeah. Oh, I did want to mention I missed this in the gaming section. Totally forgot. But I was very excited to hear that Nintendo Switch and Pokemon are coming out with a new Pokemon Snap. I am very excited for it. I know it's a really goofy concept for a game because it is just like you riding in a track and like taking pictures of Pokemon. But for whatever reasons, Pokemon Snap on N64 was so much fun, and we just rewatched today. Rubber Ross on YouTube. He's on Twitch as well as Rubber Ross, I believe. But he played it, the old one, and it's just so like goofily charming, and plus it's just like it's a way to interact with a Pokemon in a different way. Like you're trying to get them to pose and do whatever these things are, and like and do all these
literally
achievements.
Just throwing apples at them to get their attention and taking pictures of them.
Yeah. It seems like a very relaxing game, much like Animal Crossing. So I'm excited to check it out. I think it's gonna be a fun one to add to the video gaming arsenal.
Did we talk about Squadrons last time or no?
Oh, I don't know. Well, no, we did not, because
Squadrons and Last of Us have come out
yes.
since I think our last.
They have.
Talking,
You're right.
And one of our friends, Mike, Cosplay Media on Instagram, he actually worked on it, and he can talk about it now because it's out.
Yeah.
But I guess he wasn't able to talk about it for a long time. But he basically he ran the motion capturing for like the last half of the game.
Yeah.
Or last like quarter of the game. I can't remember exactly, but he worked on it, and it's awesome. And it's beautiful, and I had to stop watching it because I got way too emotionally invested. And it is a brutal game. That is all I will say about it. It is brutal as fuck. So
I mean, it's a zombie game, so you.
I mean, but the thing is that
I'm
like
not saying that's an excuse for it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
there is a level of it is that it's a zombie game.
Yeah.
There's gonna be brutality. It's like post-apocalyptic, but it is a lot.
Yeah.
I will say it's a lot.
Because I watched again. Like I can't play these games because just. Even Call of Duty freaks me out sometimes. If someone comes around the corner with a rifle in my face, like I just will like throw it the fuck in the air and be like, ah. I can't do it. So I can watch other people play it sometimes. And so like I've watched Jacksepticeye play it, the first one, and I don't know if it's just because like the majority of what you were fighting were the quote unquote clickers, and they don't look human, and they're just kind of like shambling.
Yeah.
Like zombies, and they don't, like I said, they don't look real, and when you blow them up it's like whatever. But this one, like, you're actually just killing people, and a lot of the times, and and so it's just and sometimes animals, and it feels weird, and it's like much more dire, and like I don't know, something about the story is just
heightened.
Like,
it
is definitely heightened
from the first game for sure.
Yeah. The first game was more of like like a drama with some action, and this one's like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
without going into it.
Without going into it.
Because we've only watched about half. Yeah. We've only watched about maybe a third to half of the story, and I will finish watching it, and I want to play it too. I will probably play it at some point. I need to play the first one. Yeah. Because I have that and I haven't played it yet, so I would like to have that experience myself. But I will watch the rest of Jack's playthrough because it's crazy.
And also something, and then this just popped in my head because I haven't been on Twitter and like sometimes I don't go on for like months at a time. But I went on this morning and I just started like kind of going through the like recommended stuff, and Ashley Johnson, who plays Ellie.
Yes.
She tweeted out about I think it's the girl who plays
Abby.
Abby?
Yes. She's been getting
oh my god.
She's been getting a lot of
like,
horrible like, threats online, and that's like one of the parts of fandom that are just so
make
fucking
any
terrible.
Fucking sense to me. Yeah. like Jesus Christ, people, like these are like, you realize these people are playing fictional characters, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole fucking point of it, is a video game, and it's not real, and not a single person. I mean, people like acted it out, like it's motion captured, but it's not real. It's fucking fairy tale. It's make believe. It's poof and magic. Like, and then you sit there and you're like giving people death threats because a character that like was an evil quote unquote character in your eyes killed someone that you loved. Like, grow up. Like, you know, like it happens in every fucking TV show. Shit like that happens all the time. Yeah. Like it happened in Walking Dead. It's happened in like every other TV show you could think of. Like someone you love dies at some point, and like you like you're seriously gonna like send that actor death threats? Like, he didn't do it. He didn't really do it. Like, people are so fucking stupid. But yeah, people are giving her death threats.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful, and, like, that like,
and like rape threats and all sorts of like horrible, despicable things. And it's just like, it's like, Jesus Christ, like fanboy, just like, you know, like that's the thing, is like these people, and a lot of them are dudes, because, you know, I mean, some of them are probably female too, but it seems like the majority of them are guys that it's like they don't like, you know, a badass female character that fucks some shit up. And it's like, you know what? Grow up. You know? Like, I don't like her either. Like, I fucking hate her character. I do. Like, her character is awful. And, like, you know, but her character is not real. And she is not that person. Her character is not her. Yeah, her character is not her. Exactly.
She didn't make this up on her own. She didn't show up one day and was like, hey, this is the story.
You know what I want to do? I want to kill everybody. Like, that's what I want to do. I just want to kill and kill and kill. And that's just what I do. That's how I am as a person. No, like... Yeah, so it's quite infuriating. So I feel like that needed to be at least brought up, because it's just one of the many horrible things that are in this world right now. It's just like, But at least she kind of, I've been reading stuff she's been saying like more recently, because I guess this was happening like maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And she's kind of said now that like, it seems like the good are outweighing the bad at this point, which it usually is. It's just that the bad are a lot more like, they get a lot more attention because they're bad.
Because they're so fucking loud.
Yeah. And
like they're incessant. It's like, it could be like 3 or 4 people, but if they keep hitting that button,
they're
it's
just
like,
spamming
Jesus
it, going, "Man, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you." It's like, cool, bro. Like, you need, like, and that's the thing is, like, most of the time these people are, like, mentally ill. Like, and that's the only way to explain that dissonance that you would have, that it's not a real person.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, you mentally can't, like, figure that out. And, like, that's the sad part, is that, like, it's like these people probably need help, but they feel like that's the only way they can deal with their emotions is to lash out at other people, and it's sad. So.
And it's just that, it's that veil of anonymity, too.
Exactly.
Like, they would never say this to her face.
No.
Like,
You
and
would
do
hope,
that.
but some
you would
people,
hope.
some people would.
might.
Yeah,
but I would say a majority of them would never say any of this to their face, and they're either jumping in, piling on, or they are just it's the veil of anonymity of the internet.
And that's the thing is, then like we've seen with our version of trolls, there's people out there that's just how they get off, for back of a letter term, like.
Yeah.
That's how they get their jollies, is by riling people up and getting them upset, and it makes them feel better about themselves. And that's the sad thing. And and unfortunately, sometimes when you call them out, they get even louder, and they just keep feeding on it, and they're like, "Oh, what more fucked up shit can I say?"
Yeah.
And like, it just goes on and on. So it's hard to ignore, but sometimes you do just kind of have to be like, "All right, like, cool. Like, you feel that way, but like, I don't know," but it's just like, once it starts to get to like personal, like, death threats, you start to worry, because people could really do shit like that, and it's terrible. So
it's not cool. Not cool. But yeah, so Last of Us, I would still recommend you play it if you were, a big fan of the first game. I think it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's really, really well done. The voice acting's really good. But yeah, and that whole team was fantastic, and our friend Mike worked on it. So support that.
Yes, please.
Yes, and Star Wars Squadrons is coming out in, I think, October. I could be wrong about that date. Pre-order is now, but it's a X-Wing fighter game, which we haven't really had. There's like been elements of it in Battlefront 2, but this is actually going to be a story-driven. There's going to be a story plot to it, plus a bunch of multiplayer abilities with it that are just Starfighter based, which I think is incredible. I think it's cool that they are like giving you all kinds of different types of Starfighters and stuff like that, and it just looks great. I'm very excited to try to play it. Anything
I'm excited to watch it.
I hope it's good. I mean, I hope it's fun. Like, and you were saying, even as you watched the trailer, you're like, "Oh, I hope this is going to be in VR," and it is. It is going to be in VR, which I think is going to be incredible.
Can't play it in VR, but I'll probably throw up. But I would love to watch it.
Especially the way that they do like the first person view. It's going to be pretty nuts, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much all we had on gaming news, right? I think that'll leave the button for that. Couple of things for Netflix. Both things are coming out on July 31st. First off, this was surprising to me because I didn't know she was doing this, but a visual album by Beyonce is releasing on Disney Plus. I don't even know how I can like say that with that's a real thing that's happening.
Yeah, you would think, because I mean, not that she's like, super crude, but she tends to say some things sometimes, which is perfectly amazing for her, and she's awesome. But like, Disney doesn't really smile on that, so that's why I'm kind of like, because even we were hearing like for Hamilton to be on Disney Plus, they had to take out like 3 fucks, I think
2 out of the 3.
2 out of the 3 fucks. So anyway, that's all I can think of is like, is she really gonna be able to like be herself, or we'll see. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know that she does. She has provocative lyrics, especially some of the more recent stuff, but I don't know that she curses that much. So, like, I think...
Not a ton, but yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think she has in the past, so... I always worry about censorship in that way, and I want people to be able to express
hear
themselves.
it the way that they're supposed to hear it.
It's intended, without, like, everything being bleeped out or whatever,
but,
so...
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's why I never want anyone to buy anything. I mean, I don't want people to go to Walmart in general, but I never want anyone to buy music at Walmart because of the way they censor it. Like that's one of the big reasons I don't shop at Walmart.
Yeah.
But I just find it intriguing. I think that the imagery that they've released looks beautiful. And it's called Beyonce Black is King. It's coming out July 31st on Disney Plus. It's just crazy to me that Disney Plus would get that visual album first. You would think it would be like on something like Tidal or like her other album, or it would be like on YouTube, like YouTube Red or something, or some special like HBO special. I don't know, but Disney Plus got it. That's so weird. So weird to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, another thing that's coming out July 31st on another platform, Netflix, is our boys and girls of the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Season 2 is coming out on July 31st. What did you think of the promo images that you saw?
I mean, it looks cool. I mean, it's, like I said, sometimes I wish they would, just give hints. I feel like they gave a lot away with that. It's like, okay, so they're going back into like the 60s or 70s because that's what everybody looks like. They're wearing stuff from the 60s or 70s or both. So it's just kind of interesting in that way that they already basically told you where they're going or where they went. So that's not a surprise anymore. But I loved the first season, so I'm just stoked to see what they do with the next one. So.
Are you gonna do the new robe Klaus? That like sweet.
I think I'm done. I think I'm done with Klaus.
No,
unfortunately, yeah, I think I'm done with him.
Oh.
He was fun and it was cool to do, but yeah, I think I'm I'm hanging him up.
Do you think your opinion will change once you watch the season?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm upset that they haven't shown Ben in a different outfit because he's wearing the same damn thing that he wore in season 1.
I mean, he's dead, so.
Yes, it's true. He's the dead brother. He can't really go shopping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what they've
and
done
see, and that's the thing is, like, I'm still confused as to whether or not, because I haven't seen him in any of the scenes so far, at least from what I've seen, I haven't seen him, but like it would make sense that he could be alive if they went back in time. But
because I think he is, I personally think he is.
Yeah.
Because I think from the
but
ending,
like at the same time, like that doesn't really make sense unless it's like they picked him up. I don't know, because it'd be like, why is he the same age that he was when he died, or like why is he the age he is, and then he's still the age he is, even though they're back in time when he's alive. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. So like, okay, maybe he's alive. I don't know.
We'll see.
But I'm just trying. Yeah, I'm trying not to like think too much about it. I just want to see it. Like that's usually why I don't like to watch. Like if they do a trailer, I don't think I'm gonna watch it because I just want to be surprised. Because they always give away, like anymore now. Like even like I said, even promo images give too much away. Like they just try to like. I understand there's a marketing to it, and they want to get you intrigued by it. But at the same time, like I don't want to know, because seriously, like in the first season, they like basically like showed umbrellas and them together, and that was it. Mm-hmm. Like you got barely anything, and they started off being very like that way, but then they've started showing too much from what I think. But yeah. Anyway, I feel like they're giving too much away.
Well, it's helping out a lot of cosplayers because I do know I have noticed a lot of cosplayers who do Umbrella Academy have been already in advance working on different looks. A lot of Diegos are having to order wigs right now.
Yeah, right? That was my biggest thing. I was like, oh my God, look at his hair. But I mean, like I said, it makes sense because they're in like I said, it looks like. Some people have said it looks more like it's 70s. Some people said it like looks more. I think it looks
could
like
be late 60s.
Yeah, I think it's the middle 60s.
I think that it could be 69, 70. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we could be totally wrong. Maybe somebody already gave out this information. I don't know.
Again, like I said, I'm trying not to look anything up. So
yeah.
And actually, I think that's part of the reason why I did get the newest Umbrella Academy. Novel, but I have not read it. I think I read like the first 2 pages and then I stopped. But yeah, so I haven't read it yet. And I think because that's basically what I did with it before was I watched it and then I read it and then so I'll probably do that with this. And that's the thing is like I don't know if because the TV series differed a lot from
Oh,
the novels.
A ton.
So I don't even know, like, the story that they did for the sequel for this. I think it's just the sequel to those novels, and it doesn't have anything to do with. It may not have anything to do with the new storyline. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they're kind of keeping it separate, so it's almost like they have their own multiverse.
They'll borrow themes, I'm sure, and stuff like that, and little hits of the story. But it does. I mean, yeah, they've differed a ton from the first version.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said before, there's something in the first page of the comics that they still haven't even... They've hinted at it in the first season, but they still haven't outright said this factoid in the show. But it's like the second page, like, oh, this character's this. Oh, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, it's just crazy. But I guess it's almost like they kind of want you to like read the novels to like get more of backstory or information about what the characters are and stuff. But yeah, so anyway.
All right. Moving on to stuff we have watched this last couple days. On Netflix, we watched Eurovision with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. You actually found the trailer for this like a week before it came out.
Yeah.
And you were very intrigued.
Yeah. Well, like I can't say I like everything Will Ferrell does because I don't always like everything Will Ferrell does. But like for the most part, I think his films are very, very funny, and they just are like they're uber ridiculous and uber silly, and I kind of love that.
And they have this little bit of charm to them. Like
yeah, they do, and they always have heart for the most part. A lot of them have a heart to them and like a sweetness. So I think I dig that about that, and this was like just the same. And had some really cool like music numbers, and they used a lot of actual Eurovision people, which was dope. And they used my boy Graham Norton, who I've been watching his. I honestly think his talk show is the best talk show ever.
It might,
in my opinion. It's like, all talk shows are great. You know, the Tonight Show is amazing, whatever. But like, just his idea to have it be like a panel, and they all get to fucking drink alcohol if they want to, which is amazing. Some of them don't, but some of them do, and it's amazing. And then they're just all the guests are on the couch at the same time, and so not only do they get to interact with him as the host, but then they'll interact with each other and do interstitials with that, and that is so much more entertaining, especially if it's like a cast, because then you're seeing them all interact. So it's like a panel on TV as like a live stage show, so they're performing at the same time because they want to get the people in the audience to laugh, and like it's just a great format. So anyway, I love him. He's acted in some stuff before, and I just love that they had him in there, and he did such a great job. And I was like, he's perfect because he's host. He's in Europe. In Europe, I mean, in the UK, he is a big time presenter. Like he presents a lot of shit. Like he does like
he's
a
their
lot.
Guy.
He's like Ryan Seacrest. That's all I can basically. Yeah, because like he hosts like a lot of their like idol
but he
shows
doesn't look
or
like
like
a tool.
Yeah, exactly. He's a cute little. He's a very gay Irishman with white hair, and he's just adorable. And everybody, it just seems like everybody loves him. Everyone that goes on the show, like no one kind of acts like they don't like him. Like they just all love him to death. And he just loves to be goofy and silly, and he does like skits with his guests and stuff, and like it's great. But yeah, so I was really happy he was in it, and it wasn't amazing. It was kind of tropey, and it reminded me of Blades of Glory a lot, but in a good way, I guess. And, it was tropey. It was very tropey, but again, like it did have a charm and a cuteness, and it was fun to watch.
It's better than it deserves to be. I feel like, you know what? Like,
it could have been. It could have been real bad, but like it's not that bad. It's a little bad, but it's more entertaining than it is.
Well, that's the thing.
Cringy,
like, it's one of those things. Like sometimes when these big comedy stars do stuff for Netflix, it takes a little bit of a quality away. Yeah. But with this one, I think they still gave him like the leeway to do the ridiculous shit that he does in Blades of Glory or like Talladega Nights, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and
he still gets to do the physical comedy because he's really good at it. Yeah.
And I think, adding in Rachel McAdams, who isn't like known to be like super funny, but she has a good timing.
Yeah, she does.
And she's just very genuine.
I mean,
like,
you
she's
remember
a
her
genuine
in Mean
actress.
Girls? Like, she was
I know. Yeah, she
funny
was
in
really,
Mean
really
Girls.
good in Mean Girls.
Like,
I'll take that back. She does know a little bit of how she's gone above and beyond.
Yeah, well, I think she kind of like started in more comedic things, and then she did drama for a long time.
Yeah.
But it seems like maybe now she wants to like diversify a little bit. So
yeah, because she was in comedy stuff, and then she did rom-coms a lot, and then she did like serious dramas, and then she did a Marvel movie. She's been in a bunch of other stuff. And I just generally like her as an actress. I think she's just very genuine in her portrayal of the character. She has a very like sensible way about her. But yeah, she's like she can be dorky and be honest about it, and like she doesn't like it doesn't
shy
seem out
away
of place
from it.
Yeah,
exactly.
And one of the big surprises for the movie, I thought, even like when we were watching the trailer the first time, I was like, holy shit, Pierce Brosnan is going to be in a comedy, and I mean, love
he's been in some rom-coms lately.
Yeah, he has. Yes,
like,
he was in
Mamma Mia, I think, and Mamma Mia too.
Yeah,
like, and he was pretty like he's a good singer too. But like, yeah, like I was actually surprised. I thought he might have sung something in it, but unless it's like in a deleted scene, I guess he sings like along with like at the bar and stuff like that sometimes, but. Yeah, I was like, that's such a weird, amazing choice that they got Pierce Brosnan to play his dad. And
oh my gosh. And they make us so many jokes about like Pierce Brosnan just being so super hot, basically. And I love that. I think that's a really fun, self-referential sort of thing.
So good, yeah. And I don't know why, but I just love the like weird added thing about the fairies or
the elves.
The elves, yeah.
Which I guess is
it is a thing in
Iceland.
Is like, I don't know, like, like at least it's like a folklore thing is that these elves live in their mountains or whatever, and they come and do mischievous things or something. But she like basically prays to these elves and gives them offerings, and I think, like I said, I think that is a thing that they do there, which is weird. But it's like they probably just like looked that up and were like, oh, this will be amazing.
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
She'll have her little elf people that she talks to, because she's like weird and crazy.
And I'll give a special little shout out to Demi Lovato, because that was a surprising appearance by her.
It was so stupid.
It was a dumb bit.
It was really dumb. I was like the one part I was like, oh come on, like why is she this weird burning like ghost thing? Like it was weird, but but at the same time, like, okay, yeah, this might as well happen. This is this kind of movie, so whatever. Like,
but I do say they did a great job of actually giving a lot of love to Eurovision.
They did.
They did a ton of stuff because like it could easily have been a movie that's just like shitting on music competitions and European style music.
Yeah,
but
they could have. Yeah, it could have been a lot of making fun of it, but literally, like, it was showing that they are all really cool with each other and they have fun and like.
And every act is unique. It's not like there are some jokey songs, but they're all performed in earnest and with production quality. It's not like they're putting out like a bunch of like small countries that show up and like do a song and there's not great lighting or whatever. Everybody had a really good performance, and it's really fun to watch. And like you said, there's a part in the movie where they actually had former Eurovision winners or participants in a big musical number, and it's like one of the more surprising parts of the movie because I didn't expect.
Yeah, it was fun.
I mean, I knew it was a music movie, but there's like a really cool like musical style like scene in the middle of the movie that's just fantastic. But yeah, I just like Will Ferrell, and we both do. So, and
I just thought it was interesting that basically the girl who does the voice of Rachel McAdams, because I guess she maybe she can sing okay, but you know, maybe she wasn't like 100% confident in singing. So they had this girl who actually had won Eurovision when she was like a young kid, I think. And but still has done like has a really great, she's an amazing voice and like had a really good career and stuff, so they had her do her voice and the songs were really cool actually.
Yeah, they're actually really fucking cool.
They're pretty fun, like snappy little songs, so yeah.
Very European songs. Yes. I'll say. Because Europe is a lot
like a very techno-y, ABBA-esque, like electro-centric. Like they're definitely electro-centric, but
they're definitely electro-pop-centric for sure. But yeah, I would recommend Eurovision. Like, if you just like Will Ferrell and you just want like a goofy movie to watch, it's not gonna waste your time.
No, it's
Like, I think it's worthwhile
it's
to
fun.
watch at least once or twice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the big boy. This is the one that you've been waiting for. We should have been in theaters watching it, in the theater at Pantages watching it in March. But we finally got to have
Someday.
Someday we'll still do it.
Someday.
But we finally got to have the experience
Maybe.
of watching Hamilton. On Disney Plus. Came out on July 3rd. And man, I'm gonna say this. You know that I'm not a huge musical person. You've introduced me to more musicals than I've ever watched in my life before you came into it.
Yeah.
So I knew the songs. Like, I know I have a bunch of friends who love it, and like I was like, oh, okay. I'm excited to watch it because who knows when I'm gonna do it. And we were supposed to do it in March, but whatever. Who knows when I'm gonna watch it? I just don't know. Like, obviously, listening to the music itself without seeing the visual of the stuff being acted out is a totally different experience.
Completely, yeah.
So now being able to see it, like, I get it. I get the hype behind it, and it really drove home why people love this musical. What did you... Because obviously you listened to it. You've probably seen some of the performances a little bit.
I've literally tried to look up as much as I possibly can that's like actually like good quality.
Yeah.
And not like, because some people do like they just tape it or whatever when they're in the theater and it looks like shit and it sounds like shit. So like I usually just don't like, I'm not going to give them views or anything. But like if it's Hamilton official stuff, like I watched their Grammy performance a few times and stuff, and like, but yeah, I grew up on that shit. I've told Chris this many times that like we had because PBS used to do these big specials like every season when they were trying to get donations from people, and they would almost always put up like a live or quote unquote live taping of a musical.
Yeah.
And like one time it was Cats, and I recorded that shit off TV and I watched it pretty much every single day. And Les Mis.
Yep.
Again, like the one that I had on tape was actually like, it was like I want to say like 10th or 15th anniversary of it.
Yep.
And it was just like a lot of I think it was most of the original cast, if not all of the original cast, plus like possibly a couple other people. But they basically did it like, it was interesting. Like they did it on a stage with like a choir as like the ensemble, which sounded amazing. And then I think I've shown this to you.
I think you have, yeah.
And then all the characters, they literally just sat in seats, and then they stood up and got to the front to like sing the part of the musical that they're in. But they didn't actually like 100% act it out. They threw in a couple of like interstitial things where they actually showed what it would look like on stage or whatever.
Yeah.
Like some vignettes, but they literally, none of it was actually acted out. It was literally just the person would stand up and sing their part and sit back down, and that was all it was. But it was awesome, and that's how I learned like about it and the story. I actually didn't, so I used to watch that when I was like real little, and then I actually didn't get to see it live until I was like probably 13 or 14 when it like toured and it came to Arizona. And God, I just remember like oh my God. So it is like, I still think you have to see it at some point. It's one of the most powerful musicals like ever. In like
the only time I've seen it so far has been in the movies. So.
Yeah, and the movie was okay. But it definitely, like I said, there is something to live theater that is just like on another level. Like I think I may have told this story before. I was telling it to someone else that I got to see Heather Headley and Adam Pascal on the original Broadway cast of Aida. Like opening week.
Mm-hmm. And
her voice in that song was like, I'd literally never heard a more powerful singer in my entire life. And we were literally like third row center. And when she like came at me, like I just like couldn't breathe. Because she was so like, and she was so intense. And that song is extremely intense. Because she's talking about the fact that she loves this guy and she's probably going to get murdered if she marries him, but she can't help it. And like, so she's just fucking like going at it. And like, I follow her on Instagram and stuff just because I've always just loved the shit out of her. And she's an amazing, amazing artist. And, but just the two of them together, he was in the fucking like original cast of Rent.
Yeah.
And like, and so he had an amazing voice and their duets were amazing. And like, yeah, so And I saw that and Producers, and I actually kind of liked Aida more just because the singing was so like powerful and crazy. But like I've also seen Lion King live. That's an amazing experience. I've seen that twice now live. And God, I've seen a ton of stuff, like, because for a long time when I was a kid, like my parents had season tickets for for Gamage Auditorium, and so like we would literally see like anything that came through there, like Oliver and Annie and Showboat and Wicked and like Phantom of the Opera and like Peter Pan several times, like pretty much just everything, because my mom just like loved it, and so I loved it, and so I was like, hell yeah, take me to anything you want. I saw Chicago with my family when I was probably way too young to be seeing Chicago with my family. I think I was like a little bit uncomfortable at certain points. I was like, oh yeah, they're talking about weird sex stuff, and I don't know what's going on. At least it wasn't Cabaret, which is like real bad, but Chicago's still like pretty bad. And then I think I saw
they definitely deal with some adult topics.
Yeah. But at the same time, I had already been like listening to that album like nonstop and stuff. But yeah, I'm just a huge musical nerd. Not for like everything, but a lot of things. Like Ragtime, I was a huge fan of. I got to see that eventually. But yeah, I've been of musicals just lately. That's been the only one that's been super, super on my radar that I've been like wanting to see for forever. And yeah, it was really upsetting when I found out, like in the span of like 2 days, I found out I was going on my birthday, and then I found out I wasn't going on my birthday. And I guess it's better that I didn't know like weeks in advance, so my hopes weren't like super high, because we were already starting to hear about like things may start getting canceled. So I kind of had it like with a grain of salt, but I almost kind of wish I had known that I was gonna go, because I was crushed.
Yeah.
But then like when I found out, it was the end of this past month that we found out that it was even coming out.
Oh yeah, something like that. It was like a month or two ago. Yeah.
I feel like it was sooner than that though. Like I feel like it was only like the end of June that they announced it.
I can't remember.
I was like, holy shit! I can't believe it. Yeah, so super exciting. They did an amazing job filming it, and it sounds amazing, and it's so well acted and like so well sung, and this dancing is amazing.
Yeah.
Like everything is just it's like as close to a perfect Broadway show as anything can get. Like it's literally like Les Mis worthy.
Yeah.
Like it's right up there with like Phantom of the Opera in terms of like, you know, just solid show.
And I'm gonna say, like, I think that's one of the shows that I've seen so far where like the ensemble behind them is just so incredibly good that you kind of are enraptured by watching them as well as the main cast.
Yeah.
Because they do so many things. They're not only dancing, but they're singing backup. They're moving set pieces. They're interacting with the scene. They're doing so much. And we were watching the credits afterwards, listening to some of the mixtape sounds and stuff like that, and they did like special title cards for every single ensemble member, which I'm like, they deserve it. Each and every one of those ensemble members were integral to how good this piece was.
Definitely.
I think the thing that I was surprised about, like, and not that I was surprised because I've heard the songs and they're powerful, but I never put a face to them, right?
Yeah.
I can't follow the character when I can't see their face and how they're interacting. So I was surprised at how much I loved these are the two characters that stood out to me. Somebody was asking me like what actors and whatever felt like their performance were so good. Okay, maybe it's three. So it's Aaron Burr, I thought is incredible. Leslie Odom, phenomenal.
He has a lot to he's a lot on his plate on that show.
To be a narrator and the foe and like a fully fledged character, like that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
And then
in almost every scene. It seems like.
Yeah. He's either in the background or like he does a couple lines or whatever. He has a lot to do. So Aaron Burr for sure. And then the two, I mean, all the Schuyler sisters are great, but obviously the two, Eliza and Angelica, both of those actresses, I'm going to look up their names. I know one is Philippa Sue. I can't remember the other lady's name. I'm going to look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Super powerful.
But they're both powerful. And And a special shout out to Angelica Renee Elise Goldsberry, because like rapping is one thing and singing is a whole nother. And to have a song where she does both and both incredibly is fucking insane that they even found somebody to do that powerful.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know there are very talented people out there, but the skill to be like doing the rapping that fast and then go into a fucking powerhouse vocal, like, that is insane. And all in one song. You know?
So I believe what they had said is that this recording was before it was on Broadway. So this was when they were in test runs.
Oh, really?
Because he even said, because we watched this little thing they had, I forget what it was called, but
was it the Wired?
The Wired thing,
yeah.
They did like an interview thing that we watched, but because the guy who played Lafayette, he was saying that he walked into one of the first things and he saw Anika Nani Rose. She was the original Angelica.
Yeah.
And Anika Nani Rose was in Princess Frog.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, she was, I believe, but then I got confused. I was like, I don't know if she was just the original, or she was in the Broadway original, or what. But I believe she may have won a Tony for it. I don't know, but she was one of the original Angelicas. So I just was gonna throw her name out there too. I haven't actually seen her sing it, but like, she was one of the other ones too. That was amazing. Yeah,
that's crazy. I mean, and one of those, I will say, like, I was just blown away by how impressed I was. I knew I would be enraptured by it because the music is so good, but just as a production, the way that the stage moves, the way that they transition from one song to another, it's incredibly artful. And yeah, and like they were talking about it on that Wired article too, and I'll post that on our page. Or the Wired interview. The way that the stage moves is so interesting because there's a dual turntable. So there's a lot of stuff where they're actually rotating the stage or rotating around the stage, putting set pieces down that move and all that type of stuff. Like, it's just a feat. And it was actually helpful to watch it on. It's going to be incredibly different to watch it from the crowd. Because watching this, you see the subtleties of the acting, which I don't think you'll be able to do watching a musical unless you're like super close. And even then, it's subject to who you're paying attention to, like where your eye darts. With the advantage with this is that you actually have different camera angles that will push in. Like, you see Aaron Burr's emotions as he's singing a certain song and how he's playing it, and the subtleties of his mouth movements and all that type of stuff. Like, it's wild how good it is. Do you have a favorite song from the show? I think that you already had said that.
I answered my own question. So she played Angelica Schuyler in 2013.
Okay.
And this was filmed over 3 nights in 2016.
Yes.
So she was the original.
Okay.
Anika Nani Rose was the original. She was like the second one.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, yes.
What is your like favorite song from the musical itself?
Oh my god.
Like, if you could pick like a top 3.
Oh god.
I kind of put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I will say the one that that was stuck in my head this morning was "Satisfied." I like that song a lot. "Dear Theodosia" is really, really good from Aaron Burr. And most of the Aaron Burr songs, actually, surprisingly, are the ones that I like the most. I also do like the congressional hearing ones, just because I like how David plays against Lin-Manuel.
Okay, I think I'll say my top 3 are "Wait for It."
Yep. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I was talking about for number 3.
"It's Quiet Uptown."
Oh,
and
that one hurts.
And "You'll Be Back."
Oh yeah,
those are I love "You'll Be Back" so goddamn much.
And seeing him play, because that's the thing. Like, you can listen to the song on the cast recording, and it's incredible. Like, it sounds great. His voice is great, but his performance of that song is like transcendent. Like you can't
so
get your
good.
eyes off of him.
He's amazing. Yeah, he's so subtle and good. Like, yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't think that you can appreciate the wordplay and like the way they cue to the audience in the cast recording, the way that you do with the movie, because you get to see how he plays to the crowd, how King George plays to the crowd, and it's just so much more fun to watch and watch how he does these subtle little like quirky things and the things they do with the lighting when he says like, oh yeah, I feel blue, and then he stomps his foot and the lights turn blue. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so good. Yeah, I was very impressed.
He was in Spring Awakening, which was a huge hit on
Yeah,
Broadway.
yeah.
Oh, he played Kristoff in Frozen.
Oh,
King,
nice.
The King did.
Nice. What's his name?
That's great. His name is Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's amazing. Yeah, and then he was doing that for a little bit, and then he was in an HBO drama series called Looking
Okay.
for a little bit. He did a couple other things. He also was in I guess he went to London and starred in a one night only concert of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
Nice.
Yeah, and then he was in Hamilton, so it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then at some point Taron Killam was the the king.
Yeah.
Actually, literally, I've scoured YouTube. I cannot find even a bootleg of him doing the songs.
Yeah.
Which I would love to see him actually do.
Because I could see, like, we were talking about it when we were watching it, and we've never heard him sing in that way.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard him sing in a couple skits, I'm pretty sure. But I think the physicality, at minimum, he would have had it.
Yeah.
I think he would have been able to do the same type of, like, goofy stuff.
But I think they probably all kind of gave their...
Yeah.
probably had their own style of it or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was very, like, I was very surprised. I don't know if surprised is the right word. I was happy that it lived up to expectations and exceeded some. Because I think it's one of those musicals that everybody has been dying to see, and now that it's accessible, it's even more prevalent in everybody's minds. And I think it's something that people needed right now, because like, obviously we haven't been able to go out very much, and like getting to see something like this and see it be so incredibly moving. And it's a different style. I mean, obviously a different style of musical, using hip hop and all that type of stuff. Like it's incredible, and it's a testament to how good Lin-Manuel Miranda is. Like I really do get why he's so coveted in the entertainment field, because everybody's wants that talent, like that mind that creates this. Like, how does that happen, and how does that lend itself to other things? But yeah, I was pretty happy with watching it. I was gonna say, I was reading an article about obviously it's hip hop and it's fast moving. It's a lot of words, and they were talking about how this, obviously the way that he wrote this could only have been with hip hop, because of how many words he put into it. Because they did it with the average of how many words are spoken per second in different musicals, and with the average time of the average time for Hamilton is about 2 hours and 30 minutes. If they would have done it in any other musical's pacing, this would have been at minimum 4 hours.
Holy shit.
And there was one, I wish I could find the graphic offhand, but there was one, it was one of the more popular musicals, and I can't remember which one it was, but if it had the pacing of the words, like words per minute of this other musical, it would have been 6 hours.
Oh my God.
Because of how many words are in these songs.
Yeah. Well, because I was saying there's certain musicals where, like I just showed Chris the producers the other day, because I was talking about how I'd seen it on Broadway and I loved it, and I got to see it with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick, and so we were watching that and stuff like that. But there are interstitials where they are actually like speaking to each other, And there are certain musicals where they do like actually like in between songs they actually like act and talk to each other without singing, but pretty much every line of dialogue in Hamilton is sung in some fashion, like or rapped or whatever. But it's like there's a melody to every like everything that's spoken in it, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's really wild. Oh yeah, I think I found it. So, Lin-Manuel Miranda did an interview with Grantland, said that it would have been impossible to tell his story at the pace of a conventional musical. His quote said, "It would have to be 12 hours long because of the amount of words on the bars you're writing on a typical song. Maybe it's got 10 words per line, whereas here we can cram all this shit in all the margins." He ran all the numbers, and he was off by a few hours, basically right. So this is the comparison. So Hamilton is cast album length is 2 hours and 23 minutes. Total words 20,520. Words per minute is 144 words per minute. Phantom of the Opera is 68 words per minute. Yeah. So let's see here. So this was the thing. So if it was in the pacing of Phantom of the Opera, 5 hours and 3 minutes. If it was in the pacing of Spring Awakening, 4 hours 28. Pirates of Penzance. I don't know what that musical is.
It's an older musical.
Older one, yeah.
Yeah, way older. Yeah.
Or so if it was in that pacing, it would have been 5 hours and 55 minutes, and Oklahoma would have been 5 hours and 51. If it's that same pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because traditional musicals are like the songs are. Yeah, and I don't know if they're. I'm assuming they're talking about all dialogue, but yeah, like the dialogue is usually like, it's spoken and it's in a normal pacing, and then like when the songs are sung, they're usually ballads and they're long. And like,
you hold notes for longer.
You're holding things, and like with rap, it's like a totally different ballgame where it's literally like everything is fast paced. Everything is fast paced. Yeah.
And that's crazy that obviously in the show, there's still other ballads that are in there that are kind of slower. So, like, that just ramps up the musical so much more.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have not gotten a chance to experience Hamilton, please do check it out. We would highly recommend it. I will also post those articles or the interviews that we saw, because it's fun to see. Like, we love the behind the scenes stuff of how they got together, how they did certain things, and how the cast was like together and all that. Like, it's just fun to watch. So
also, if you haven't seen the last few episodes of The Gallery of the Mandalorian on Disney Plus, I would highly suggest watching that also.
Yes,
it's amazing.
It is incredible. Rachel has pretty much completed Xi'an. I think there's like 10% of things that maybe you'd just shore up, but you recruited some help. Our friend Alon was gracious enough to draw the crazy pattern that you saw from the gallery.
Yes, I commissioned him to do it, and he did an amazing job. And so, but then I had to, my two, like my index finger and my middle finger on my right hand are still numb from all the X-Acto blading that I did. Like literally, I can't feel my fingertips. I think
this is where we wish we had.
I think I may have nerve damage. I'm not gonna lie.
This is where we wish we had like a Cricut cutter thing.
Yeah, but I sat there and hand cut out the design with an X-Acto blade, and then ironed it onto my shirt twice, and it was a pain in the ass, but I'm hoping it's worth it.
Yeah.
That people will be like, oh yeah, that's the thing that was on there, because you can barely see it. I didn't even notice, even after we're like taking pictures of the screen, I didn't notice it until watching the behind the scenes shit. I was like, oh crap, she has shit on her sleeves. Awesome. But yeah, so literally I need to like do a little bit of detailing on top of that design. I need to attach some extra leather to the belt to make little holsters, and I have to do a little bit more gluing, and then I'm done. So I am almost done.
Yeah.
And then,
we did if you haven't seen, we did shoot some stuff for it. I will post some of that on the page. But yeah, really, really fun stuff. Yeah. If you would like to support us, as I'm wrapping up the show, if you'd like to support us, you could send a Ko-fi, a coffee, to us. ko-fi.com/thenerdlies, and all that for this month is all going to go to charity. Rachel does Patreon. I think it's also on the tag of our show. That I will edit onto this, so I don't really need to mention this. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good time.
Like, comment, subscribe, write a review.
Yeah.
Please. It helps us.
Yeah, and we'll try to. We kind of slacked on Twitch streams. We'll try to do that again soon. But yeah, hopefully you guys are taking care of yourselves, being safe out there, and yeah, taking it seriously. Wear some masks. Oh, we have masks on our site, on our TeePublic site.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you did that.
So there we had some.
You can buy a mask that has our Nerdlies logo on it.
Yeah,
if you really wanted to.
And all proceeds of that will be going to charity. So we are not making money off of that. That'll be all going to charity if you buy a mask off of teepublic.com/user/thenerdlies. So yeah. All right. Cool. Go forth and be nerdly. We'll talk to you soon.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you like this episode or any of the episodes that we've had, please do us a favor and go on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher and write us a review, and just subscribe to us on any of the platforms that you have. You can follow us on our social media at The Nerdlies, pretty much everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and what's the words? Instagram, YouTube. You can find us on YouTube, The Nerdlies. We do need more subscribers on that so we can lock in our channel and stuff like that. Rachel's social media is
Lady Raygun, LadyRaegun.
Yeah, on Twitter, Instagram, and she has a Patreon account.
Yes.
That we are still shooting stuff for.
And also I have a Facebook. I don't have a Facebook anymore, but I have a Facebook page that is Lady Raygun Cosplay if you want to check that out.
Yeah, and that's also facebook.com/Lady Raygun. But yeah, come follow us and do all the things. We'll see you soon, and thank you so much for supporting the show.
Thank you.
Bye. Go forth and be nerdly.
Who are we? Don't be sure you ever heard you see. It will be in your eardrum like an infectious beat. We complete. They like when the short and long hear me. Cause we the nerdlies, the nerdy. Who are we? Don't be sure you ever heard you see. It will be in your eardrum like an infectious beat. We complete. They like when the short and long hear me. Cause we the nerdlies, the nerdlies.